remember sitting in this very chapel during my freshman year laying claim to Kate Dilworth's last word introduction, never imagining how fast that day would actually come. It feels like a lifetime ago when we would sit in Miss McKee's classroom dreaming of all the vacations we wanted to take together before she graduated. We talked about paddleboarding around the lake, long car rides with no destination, but there was one thing we'd always make sure of. We would leave time for the kind of moments that only best friends share. Our trips to Florida are something that I will never forget. Shopping for hours for the search of a new bathing suit, relaxing by the pool for hours, fully absorbed in our books, letting the world slip away around us. Those days felt like they would last forever, but that same day we would sit in Miss McKee's classroom saying we have all the time in the world, never realizing just how quickly time would slip away. So please help me welcome Kate Dilworth.
Having been at Hebron for almost 7 years, I often ask myself, what was the biggest takeaway? Where would I be if I didn't join in 6th grade? Most importantly, who would I be? I've seen countless seniors walk up to this podium and ask and speak about what was important to them. I think and imagine what I would say and what I would do to leave a lasting impression on your minds. One stood out to me. My freshman year, a girl walked up to this exact podium and asked for one thing, to be remembered. It always stuck with me. How would I be remembered? So instead, I want to talk about some things that are memorable to me. A big part of my childhood was the summers I spent in a house in Yarmouth, Maine with friends and family. A big part of those summers were spent around an old dark wooden table covered in scratches and water rings. The water rings are left from overfilled bowls of pho. Pho, a Vietnamese noodle soup, can bring people together. It can make things sad and complicated. We ate, laughed, and cried at this table. Yet the ginger will heal all of your problems. I love pho on cold February evenings after a day of skiing. I like the way the steam warms snow-bitten noses. I like the way my mom hugs me after long days. I like making sure my art is dedicated to her. She was meant to go to art school. She wanted to learn how to restore paintings in fancy museums. I am sure that in another life, my art will be the one she restores. I inherited her looks and her love of Maud Lewis. I inherited her love of peanut butter, but not her sweet tooth. When I sit at my desk and start an art project, I always think, what would Jen do? Usually, it involves flowers. Pho is a mix of flavors, a mix of experiences, and stories. I've had the opportunity to surround myself with a mix of cultures, people, and their own stories. Each mix make me the person I am today. I love cooking because of my mom. I love quality times with my friends because of my dad. I love car rides with Cassidy and learning meaningless tricks with Annie. I make my life memorable by surrounding myself with the people I love, the people I aspire to be like. When making pho, you must dedicate your time to the process. You boil the meat and bones, cook the ginger, and hide the recipe to your homemade fish sauce. You do all of this for the moments of bliss that are brought to the faces of those eating the soup. Strangely enough, I've never eaten pho in my own home. However, we find other ways to create that same bliss. My dad spoils me with his time and dinner dates with my mom. On late nights in the summer, he listens when I rant about whatever is on my mind for that day. He tells me to follow my aspirations and to not fear making mistakes. His time and love are gifts I fear I may never be able to repay. At the end of the day, I often find myself sitting around a similar table in my own home, ringed with the people I love and watermarks from the dishes of the day. In front of my mother, father, and me is a pot of homemade tomato sauce. Yes, it's served over cheap Hannaford pasta and nowhere close to the quality of Grandma Penny's pho, but it is still full of the same amount of love. These are the moments I remember. I will forever be grateful for my time at Hebron and grateful for the teachers and friends I have met. I want to say to think back on the actions that have left a positive impact on your life and to try to be that person for someone else.